Hello, my name is Dr. Zimberman and this is the first of a set of videos about the ZimberLab ILLuminate lighting system. I'm going to try to do shorter videos about the different aspects of the system, so you can directly search for the information you need. This first video is just an overview of the system and its main concepts. I would like to introduce you to Lisa. Lisa is a secretary here at ZimberLab, and for these lighting videos I was thinking to have something more visual appealing than my own robot avatar, so Lisa will be demonstrating the ILLuminate system. So the first thing I want to talk about is the concept of beacons. The ILLuminate lighting system uses beacons as a central working point for its lights. A beacon can be an avatar or an object. Here at the HUD we can see the current active beacon. It says avatar, which means it is the avatar of the owner on the HUD. In this case it will be Lisa. When I raise a light, let's turn on night. When I raise a light, it will appear next to the active beacon. I can choose another position and raise a light. These lights will all appear around the active beacon. Say we're going to use an object beacon. It will ask for a name. Let's call it Ho Ho. And here appears an object beacon with the name Ho Ho. We can see at the HUD the active beacon now is Ho Ho. If I'm going to raise a light now, it will appear here next to this beacon. We say that lights are parented to a beacon. The lights 1 and 2 are parented to the avatar Lisa, and the light number 3 is parented to this object beacon Ho Ho. If I want to return to my avatar as active beacon, I just click here, Avatar. You can see here this button Model, which allows us to select models when they are wearing a model beacon, so you can work with other avatars as your central working point for your lights. So when we raise a light, it will appear in world and it will get a number. We call these lights assigned lights. There are currently three lights assigned to the HUD, and one of them is selected. Number 3 here is selected. We can select other lights by clicking the numbers here on the HUD, or we can directly click them in world to get them selected. The light that is selected will listen to the commands that we have on the HUD. We can select multiple lights by the multi-function here, which allows us to select several lights and then they will all listen to the commands. For example, we can move them all up. There are two types of lights: point lights and projectors. A point light we already have here. It emits light in all directions and it does not cast any shadows. A projector, let me raise a projector. A projector emits light in a single direction and it does cast shadows. And a projector can also be rotated. So we can see here, we can rotate and adjust the aim of the projector. Now, an important feature of the ILLuminate system is focus mode. Let me demonstrate. Let's delete what we have. We activate focus mode for projectors by the crosshair button here at the top. It will turn green when focus mode is activated for projectors we raise. So let's raise a projector and it will appear in focus mode, which means it will automatically focus onto its parent beacon. If I move it, it will adjust its aim always towards the parent beacon. We also have the option for what is called streamed focus, which will be an active following, a continuous following of the movements of the avatar by projectors in focus mode. Let me raise a couple of projectors around my avatar. And I can activate streamed focus here. Screen focus is activated for all projectors in focus mode. And if the avatar is moving now, we will see that the projectors are following the movement of the avatar, like spotlights on a stage. The next thing I want to talk about is anchoring and performing an anchor call. I've made this little light setup around my avatar of 6 lights. And what I can do now is anchor these lights to the parent beacon. I can do this here at the bottom. I'm going to choose all lights now, and this will anchor the 6 lights to my avatar, which means they will remember the relative distance they have towards her. So if the avatar would move to somewhere else on the sim, and I perform an anchor call, let's take here active beacon, the lights move along. Bring her over here, perform an anchor call, and the lights just move along. And this also works for rotation. So even if she doesn't move, but just let's rotate her a bit, and we perform an anchor call, the lights rotate along. And you will always have the same configuration around your avatar. Once the lights are anchored, we can switch to another model and keep the same light rig. Let me quickly demonstrate with an object beacon. Call this one Yaya. So I have here my object beacon Yaya. Now currently these lights are parented to the avatar, but I can, by the parent button, parent them to the active beacon being the object beacon. So when I'm going to select all lights, and I'm going to say parent. Now these lights are parented to this object beacon, and I can perform an anchor call, and the lights appear here at the exact same distance and rotation as they were with the avatar. So I demonstrate now with an object beacon, but this means you can have different models, and once you have a good light setup, you can just bring it over to any active beacon you want. Okay, let's talk about disconnecting and the use of scenes. Currently I have 6 lights assigned to the HUD, but say I want to work on another project, so I'm going to remove them from the HUD, going to the options panel, and here I can disconnect them. I can disconnect selected, or I can disconnect all. We're going to disconnect all, but before we're going to use the scene, we're going to create a new scene, give it a name, call it first. The name appears here. All assigned lights are part of this scene. If I choose to disconnect the lights now, you will see the numbers are gone and there are no more lights assigned to the HUD. I can start raising new lights and work on another project. These lights will no longer listen to the HUD. I can reconnect them when I want. I can reconnect a single light by this menu, say reconnect, and this light will be reassigned and get a number. Or I can reconnect a complete scene. Can just do this by menu, but I can also go here to the scenes list, select the scene first, and say reconnect. Now at this moment, this menu asks if you want it to be parented to the active beacon, and let's do this. The active beacon currently is the avatar, so say yes. So the scene is reconnecting, and the lights are parented to my avatar. The lights that were in focus mode adjusted their aim, and they also did remember their anchoring. So if I select them all and say anchor call, all my lights are back as they were as before, reconnected to the HUD. The next feature I want to talk about is the option to finalize lights, which will permanently remove them from the HUD, and then they can be linked to switches and buildings. I've made a little setup here of 7 lights. I'm going to select them all and going to options, and here I can finalize them. But before, again, we're going to create a scene, because the switches also work with scenes. So a new scene, let's call it second. And then I'm going to finalize the selected lights, 7 lights to finalize, yes. So you can see numbers are gone, they have this neutral design, and all these lights are gone from the HUD. Now I can operate them independently by clicking them, but I can also use a switch. Let me raise a prim to demonstrate. Inside the package you will find the light switch. You can drop it inside any prim or object, and I have to enter the scene as description. And then I can link all the lights to the switch and the switch to my building. And now the lights can be operated by the use of this switch. I can long touch the switch for menu, where I can change the sound, access settings for different users, and I can also hide these lights. Then another way to finalize lights is to use drop shapes. There are 6 drop shapes included in the package, but you can make your own if you want. I've prepared 2 lights, a point light and a projector, and the use is pretty simple. We have the light drop script inside the package. This is a point light bulb over here. I'm going to place the script inside. It will say it's open to accept a drop. We go to options, and here we're going to select drop. And the light has sent its settings to this shape, and it is exactly the same light as we have there. Similar with the projector. This is a projector drop shape. So let's put the script inside. And this time we're going to select drop and join, which it will send its settings, but it will also take the same location and adapt its size to the original light. So now you can see we have the same light here in the shape, so we can remove this one and use the drop shape further on. The drop shapes can be connected to switches similar as we did with the finalized lights. The only difference is that drop shapes always stay visible. Then the last thing I want to mention are the 2 ways to get help on how to use the system. First of all, there's the user guide, where each section of the HUD is laid out and indicated what each button does, and all the concepts are explained as well. And there's also a few pages with tips and tricks and workflows on how to use the system. Then the second way is at the HUD itself. We have to open nearby chat for this, and then you can activate the help mode here by clicking the question mark. And then you can touch any button and you will get extended information in chat on what these buttons do. There's still a lot more to be said about all the HUD features, but as said, I want to keep these videos short, and for the overview of the basic concepts, this will be it. But I will continue making videos about every section of the system and handle it in depth. Thanks for watching. Look out for more videos. Have fun and see you in Second Life.